back to the channel. This is Jonah here with Part of the Garage. Tonight I'm going to be working on my 2003 Mini Cooper base model. Getting this weird clicking in the rear end. I've already replaced the rotors, brakes, and hardware. So tonight I'm going to jack it up, and I got rear wheel bearings. You can tell it's the rear because it doesn't have the hole for the axle. So this is the part number if anyone cares. Got them off Rock Auto for like 35 bucks each or something. I will admit these things are cheap to work on. So let me get some tools gathered up here, and we'll start getting the wheel up, getting the jacked up, and we'll get her filmed and carry on. To have you guys get on my level, as they say. But we're going to take the lug nuts. These are a 17mm. So I'm just going to jack the car up. If you guys probably can't hear that, there's definitely something hanging up, but I'll get it fixed here. So nothing on the inside looks out of whack. Okay. Oop. Looks like a torch bit. Let me grab that real quick. Probably if it wasn't buggered up, it would be a T50, but T45. That's probably T47. Yep, it's T47. So okay, so we have that loose. Then we got to remove the caliper and the bracket and the brakes. So those are, oh, that's right, there's a cover on it. It's a little cover, it pops off these ones. And they are a T47 as well. See, I've already replaced the brakes back here, so these caps should just come right off. Now, let me bring you in here so you can see what I'm doing. Lower. I want you to drop. There we go. Look at that. Just put you right into the, straight in the car. Alright. So, back a little bit. Alright. So that's the caliper, and then there's a bolt here, and the bolt right, you can't see it down here. But you gotta take these bolt and this bolt out to take the caliper off. And then there's also a retaining clip right here in the front. It pops off. Just a little piece of metal. Alright, so yes. So I just did these, so all those should be loose. I'm going to get me a rag because that one's loose. Get my extension. Okay. Now, you should be able to take a screwdriver, pry back on this. That's that. Still have the bottom bolt out the whole way. There it is. Okay. There's one brake. Okay. You just now notice something. This pops off the back of the brakes, so that may have been some of my noise as well. But so I'm this far, so I'm going to finish it. Now, I don't remember what size it is, but there it is. It's not that. Okay. Be way smaller than what I'm looking for here. What's going on here? Alright, so it is a 13 millimeter. This bracket has a bolt in here and a bolt down here. So go in here just like that. There's that one. That one. So we'll take the bottom one out first. Take the top one out. I feel like I'm not on there. It is. Okay. That takes this bracket out. I can get that bolt. There it is. That's the bolt. Now, you saw me take loose that Torx in the front. So if I pull it the whole way out, The rotors come off. And bring it back out here. That now exposes the rotor. This is what we are replacing. And if you look, there's a bolt here, and there's another one down below. So I got to lay on my back, crawl underneath it, and from the back side, there's 4 bolts inside of this housing. I got to reach through and get those broke loose. And then once we get all 4 of these out, I'm going to hit this with a hammer, and it should knock this loose. So I'm going to put the camera down and out of the way, because I got to crawl underneath the car here and lay. But I'll bring you back once I get all those bolts out. Alright, welcome back to my mess. So, I got the old bearings out now. And as you can see, I had to cut the bolt off because the head rounded off. Of course, I had to get self-extractors. Anyway, so I'm going to clean up this mess now. You got to watch, because inside of here, this little thing I'm pointing at is your wheel sensor. It's your ABS sensor. So we are going to use this guy. Try to get a lot of this garbage out of here without hitting that sensor. Normally you pull it out from the back. So, for the time being, we're just going to do it real quick. Put a piece of tape over the end of that sensor. Just and all this is just black primer. Just try it real quick, just give me a nice surface to work off of here. And then what I'll do, give it a minute to dry, and then I'll take this and go back through and clean the surface up real quick. I'll probably get some emery cloth and do it. And then I will put the new wheel bearing in, bolt it up, and we'll do everything in reverse. Give it a minute to dry. Stay tuned. Alright, now that I got that bolted on, I ended up stealing a bolt from the parts car, which up until this video you guys don't know anything about, but I have a parts car. There, now you know. So, you gotta put this on. If you look, there are 4 equally with holes, and then one weird one. That weird one is, there is a little bolt that goes through it. If you look on this wheel hub, there's one hole that is off from the rest of them. So you do this, just like that. And of course I can't do it with these gloves on. Not only does it center the hub up, but it also keeps it in place, because these cars don't have traditional lug nuts with like studs with nuts on it. They have actual, oops, that one. They are like a stud style. So this actually goes through the wheel and then into these. Alright, so let's get this process going here in reverse. So first things first, got to put back on this bracket that holds the brakes on, and that was a, I think it was a 13. Yep. So it goes back here. Get my big head in here. Nope. Usually if you can get one started and get it running 80–90% of the way, it will pull, yep, it'll pull the bracket back, keep it semi located where it belongs. So that way you can take the next one. I have anti-seize on everything, so everything's covered. Oh, this got to be done by hand. So like I said, everything has anti-seize on it. Okay, I got it in there. If I can get it started here. There it goes. We get the bolt back on. Now we will tighten those two down. So these bolts get snugged. They don't have to be like on the verge of breaking. Because all the bigger they are, they will break. Ah, really easy. Should slide you guys back so you can see more. Alright. Aha, the noise is gone. Good, that's what we were going for. Now, we have to get this put on, but we need our brakes put in first. This is on the back. Like that. This one was on the front. Like that. And this guy. Nope, that pin's out. Now the reason I didn't have to push the cylinder back on the brakes is because we didn't change them, so nothing should have changed as far as the thickness of the brake. So it means that cylinder wouldn't have moved. Oh, man, adapter. Where? These are the same as the other ones, so you don't need to be, you just have to be snug. They don't have to be like on the verge of breaking. There's a cap that goes on there, like that. The cap that goes on this one to cover up, to keep those heads clean. Now this is the thing that I'm going to take my gloves off for this. So this thing goes on just like this. So the way you do is you get one side hooked, get it pushed in there. No, this is the one that sucks, because you gotta get started. Of course my hand's gonna be in the way. There's a little finger here. I don't know if it helps any. Kinda. There's a little finger right here. So it's gotta get started, and then once it's started, you gotta pull this guy just like that, and then once you get it semi started, tap back in just like that. What that does is, so this piece right here, it's kind of hard for you to see. There we go. So this piece right here, when you hit your brakes, it tightens and releases. Well, if you only have this pivot point, when you hit your brakes, this piece will want to tilt out like this. So this spring that I just put in there keeps this back where it belongs. So, alright, that side's in. We'll get the wheel on, and then I'm going to do the other side. And I think I was going to call that it for this video for you guys. I think the video should be long enough. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something or watched me get frustrated, but stay tuned for the next video. It may be a little more interesting or not. I don't know what's going on. Bye.